Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my hair story, my hair journey. I feel like I've gone through so much with my hair and I'm finally in a really good place where I'm satisfied with my natural hair texture, my hair color that I have right now. Hopefully it helps you out in some way or another. First, I just want to explain my natural hair texture. So I actually have pretty curly hair. It's a little bit frizzy and I have pretty fine hair. Starting my university years, that's when I wanted to go blonde. So I kept getting highlights done, and then I wanted to get that like ombre look or whatever, and then I just ended up basically dyeing my whole hair blonde, and I'm going to insert pictures. This, first of all, I loved the look of this. I loved it, but it was probably the most damaging thing that I have ever done to my hair. Even though right now I still have phases where I'm like, I want to go back to blonde and I love that look. It was so nice, but it was just literally the most damaging thing to my hair. My hair was so dry. I had such split ends. It was horrible. My whole experience with my hair is also very much based around the extensions that I've gotten, because my hair is very fine. So I've always wanted thicker hair, longer hair, and you know, with my hair being blonde, it was very damaged, so it just wasn't growing. So I got extensions to make it longer. So the first type of extensions that I ever tried was clip-ins, and that was okay, but I wanted the permanent. So the first permanent type of extensions was I-tip extensions, and I got these for the first time here in Canada, and I went to someone that was pretty cheap, I would say. It was a pretty good salon, like it looked very professional, but it was a pretty cheap price point. I can't remember how much I paid. Basically what happened with the I-tips is that what the I-tips is it's basically they take a cluster of your hair and they take a strand of extension hair and they clip it on with kind of like a bead, and then they squeeze it so that it sticks to your hair. So it's kind of similar to fusion, but fusion they use glue and you can't move it up. With I-tip they use kind of like a clip. What happens when they pull that cluster is after some time the cluster starts to pull from your head because of all the stress that it's under from the pulling and the pressure. So you experience a lot of hair fall, and that's what happened with me. I experienced so much hair fall. Didn't even take a break because I couldn't deal with just having my hair, you know, the way that it was. It was probably half of what I had right now. I would recommend against I-tip. I did not like it. It was so damaging to my hair. My hair, since it was brown, I just had to constantly tone and tone. My hair was so damaging. So I decided to just dye my hair back to brown, like a darker color, or basically almost the color that I have now, but just a little bit darker. So once I went to brown, I decided to try out a different type of extension, which was halo extensions. Now what halo is it's basically like a string that you put over your hair. So it's called halo because you separate your hair like this, and then you put a string in your hair, and then the extensions are, they kind of lay like that. That was so great until I used it for maybe a year, and I was using it almost every day because whenever I would go to university or whatever, I would put in my extensions. The issue is that the extensions were heavy basically, so the string would pull down on my scalp, and I ended up having kind of like a little, yeah, you can see it right there, a little gap right here where I just lost hair, and until now I haven't been able to grow it back. So this was 4 years ago. So here's the thing with me is I go from permanent to temporary, and then I'm like, okay, I want to go back to permanent, so I try something new. I'm always back and forth, like I can never stick to something. So then I wanted to go back to permanent extensions, so I tried tape-in. The first tape-in extensions that I got were in Egypt. They were good, not that bad. I didn't have any issues with them. And then I came back here to Canada and I had to move them up, and we went into lockdown, and that was the first quarantine. So I had my husband, which was my fiance at the time, remove them for me with the solution that I bought online, and it wasn't that bad. I removed them and I shampooed my hair out and that was fine. So I went to a lady here in Toronto after I got these extensions removed. That was in the summer, and I said I want to get the tape-in extensions again, because to my knowledge that was a great experience, even though I had my, you know, husband remove them and it was a nightmare and it took too much time. I said whatever, I'll just get them done again. They weren't that bad and I didn't really feel them when they were in my head. I only felt them when I wanted to take a shower. So because I couldn't really like get in properly and wash my scalp, that's the only thing. So I went to that lady and she put in a whole new set for me. Right before I had to go to Egypt for my wedding, I told her to remove them because I had already had them in for 2 months at that point. So I said, please remove them and I'll take the extensions with me and I'll put them in like just 1 week before my wedding, so that I don't have to move them up while I'm like in my honeymoon or whatever. I wanted them freshly in right before my wedding. So before I went to Egypt, I went back to that lady and I told her to remove my extensions, and she did. And I noticed that after she removed it, I still had clumps of glue in my hair everywhere. It was just like clumps of glue everywhere. It was the most uncomfortable thing I had ever experienced. Just literally clumps of glue, like as if somebody had just dropped super glue on my hair and it was not coming off. And I told her, I messaged her and I said, hey, I still have clumps of glue in my hair. And she said, don't worry, this is gonna come off in the shower, just give it like a few days, give it 10 days, she said. 10 days, wash your hair every other day, and it's gonna come out in the shower. I gave it 10 days. It did not come out in the shower. I gave it a month. It did not come out in the shower. I had still had these clumps of glue. It was terrible. And then I went to Egypt and I went to the hair salon over there and they tried to remove it for me. Anyway, I told them after they removed it to put back my tape-in extensions because I had a good experience with them the first time. So I said, I'm sure we're not gonna experience anything bad the second time. It should be the same. So they put back my extensions. I got married, went on my honeymoon, everything was great, and then we came back to Canada in quarantine. So again, during quarantine, I said my extensions were grown out. I don't want to spend on getting them done again because there's nowhere to go. We're in lockdown. So I had my husband remove them one more time. This was a nightmare. Again, the glue was still stuck in my hair. I understand that I was doing it myself, so it wasn't professional, but even when I had a professional woman doing it, the glue was still there. Like, it just, anyway, I don't recommend it because I think just having glue in your hair is not the best thing. It never comes off fully from my experience. This might just be my experience. I don't know. I think a lot of people are still getting these extensions done and I don't know if they have any complaints, but this is what I went through. So taking them off was a nightmare. And then so I said after that experience, I am just going to stick to clip-in extensions for a while at least. So I bought these extensions from the hair shop, which I'm going to insert a picture of them. These extensions are like a thin weft, super thin, so they are very lightweight, and the hair shop has like the best hair colors, so they truly match your natural hair color. So this is what I've been using up until maybe a few weeks ago, where I just kind of stopped using extensions at all. I still use them sometimes, like when I want that extra glam, but now I basically stopped using them completely, and that is because ever since I took off my tape-in extensions, I have been, you know, really trying to keep my hair very healthy and really trying to take all the measures to grow out my hair so that I don't have to use extensions, and I feel like it's working. Number one, as I said, is avoiding permanent hair extensions. They're all bad. They all cause hair fall. I just wouldn't do it. If you have fine hair, they will make your hair even finer. Number two, use the Dyson hair tools. The Dyson hair tools have a temperature regulated technology where they don't get too hot and they don't damage your hair like any other blow dryer would or any other curling iron or straightener or whatever. So using Dyson hair products or Dyson hair tools I think has really helped my hair stay healthy, even though I do it almost every single day. Number three is I trim my hair regularly, and I actually do this myself now, like to just trim my hair one length. So all I do is, you know, after I come out of the shower, or I can just straighten my hair and just have it be like pin straight, I will split it, you know, evenly, just middle split, and I will take my hair and I will cut it. And I dye my hair one color. I dye my hair at home. Number one, it just saves me so much money than to just go to a hair salon and dye it over there. And I dye it one color because I don't need to bleach it, it's less complicated. I like to use lots of hair oils, lots of hair masks. My shampoo is the Way Fine Hair shampoo, which I think is awesome because it doesn't really dry my hair out too much. The hair mask that I use as a conditioner is the Briogeo hair mask, and I use the Gizu hair oil as well, and I think that also keeps my hair very hydrated, not so dry. Like, the most common tip that you can get is to wash your hair every 3 days. So what I do on the first day is, that's just my fresh hair wash day, and then the second day I usually would use a little bit of dry shampoo. Third day, if my hair is not that oily, then I'll just use some dry shampoo again and I can still rock it. And if it is super oily, then I will just put my hair up in like a sleek bun or a sleek ponytail and I'm good to go. So, and then after that I will wash it. So the day that I do the sleek ponytail and the sleek hair up or whatever, you know that I'm washing my hair the next day. Hopefully you guys found this useful, and I hope that this helps you make some type of decision on, you know, the extensions that you want to use, dyeing your hair, whatever, everything else, and if you're trying to grow out your hair as well. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.